Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolving Entrepreneurial Podcast. We are very excited to have you. Hello, and welcome to the Evolving Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Coach Carter. Today, our guest is Valencia Bosby. She is the owner of the Motherhood of Atlanta and also the owner of the Motherhood of Chicago. She's the owner and the founder of them both. How's it going, Valencia?
It's going good. How about you?
It's going good. For those who do not know, Valencia Bosby, she's actually my older sister. She started her business through a coaching program as well, and I'm gonna have her tell you all about pretty much her development because she had a lot going on to figuring out what business she wanted to start. And as you all been listening to the podcast episodes, you all know that many people have started in one area and moved into another. People was trying to figure out what they wanted, and that's what this podcast is all about: the evolution of becoming where you are today. And Valencia have worked with kids like her whole entire life, and she's currently still in the school system. But there was a time where Valencia was trying to open up a daycare and do other different avenues of trying to figure out what type of business she wanted to start. So, Valencia, tell us about your evolution and how you got to the point where you started a motherhood organization.
So I like Coach Carter said, I did try to start a daycare first. It failed. So once I had Adonis, my third child, I went through postpartum depression, and me going through postpartum depression, I never experienced it before with neither of the other two kids. So with that, I felt like I needed a support group. So I looked on social media. I looked
Yeah.
on uh, the Google to try to see if I found a mom support group, and I did not find one at all. So I just kept praying and God to show me what can I do to get me out of the situation that I was in. And I literally was praying and fasting, and God told me that I needed to start a motherhood organization. And that's where Coach Carter came in. And I told her that, hey, I need help. I don't know where to go. I got all these ideas in my head, but I don't know where to start. That's when I took her class. I took some of her sessions, and then I did her one-on-one class. And from there, that's when we launched the Motherhood of Atlanta. And then a year later, we launched the Motherhood of Chicago.
And yeah, and that's amazing how you speak about that because a lot of people say entrepreneur is like a spiritual journey. Because like you said, you was praying and you was waiting to hear from God. And a lot of people talk about how like God gave me the blueprint, God gave me the idea, God gave me the vision, the dream, and how stepping out on that is like you depending on God because as we all know, like entrepreneur is no joke. It's a journey full of ups and downs, you know what I mean? And you have to have like believe in something higher than yourself to hold on to keep standing this entrepreneur journey. So I love that you said that. What are some of your challenges with the business of a motherhood organization? Because I know you said that you had all these ideas, but then you start putting together and that created the Motherhood of Atlanta. Like, what were some of your challenges starting it and like currently running it? Because how many years are you in now? Is it 4 years?
No, so Atlanta would be going on 3 years. Um,
Okay.
Actually in January week, and then Chicago we could be going 2 years.
Got you. Okay. So what was some of your challenges when starting the organization and what are some of your current challenges?
So my challenge was with starting it was to get the moms in. How can I get the moms in? What audience am I looking for? Um, how can I keep the moms? That was my
Mm.
just marketing wise because I'm very terrible with marketing. So marketing wise was one of my challenges as well, and then budgeting as well. Because when you starting your own business, you got to use your funds for some couple of years. It's not always just you start that business and then funds come in. No, you have to use your funds to get where you want your business to go. Um,
Right.
Current challenges that I'm having now is just trying to make sure I'm doing the correct thing. Make sure that I'm keep marketing so I could bring the mom in. And sometimes when we working with a full woman, you sometimes want to let your hair down too and not be the CEO and founder, but something that will bite you in the butt. So one of my challenges now is boundaries. Now that I'm learning, being in this game for a couple of years now, I'm learning, hey, it's okay to enjoy yourself with the moms. It's okay to have fun and talk, but you got to know your boundaries with them as well. So that was a couple of my challenges as well.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? Having an organization and like you said, for one thing, which is really big, is one finding your niche. Because like, okay, now who you're targeting, and then a lot of times when we start businesses, we kind of like, I wish that there was something like this for me, and that was your path too. You was looking for something, you was looking for an organization, and you couldn't find what you was looking for, so you created it. A lot of times that happens when people are looking for something and they don't see it. Like, hey, I want to create this then. And I know for like, let me give a little background to that. Like, you moved to Atlanta, but you originated from Chicago.
Yeah,
So you don't have your normal support group out
you
in
know,
Atlanta. Now you done had two kids already, they bigger, but now you have the smaller kid and you're lacking that community, that support. So within that, you birthed the motherhood of Atlanta in Chicago. So with your marketing strategies, I know you're saying that that's something like, you're not the best at, and that's like a thing for most people. And a lot of times not even that they're not the best at it, but marketing takes a lot of work. And like you said, budgeting, and you're coming out of your own pocket. I gotta tell people, outside of like your brick and mortar business, if you have an actual building, marketing is probably going to be the most expensive thing that you're spending your money on. So, what are some of the ways do you market within your organization?
I do Facebook and Instagram. I pay for the ads. I also do reels, put them out there. I continue to post on our fan social media pages. I just
Mm-hmm.
started to go to like what we call churchy outreach. So going giving our flyers out and our brochures. Um, my son daycare, I also put some in his daycare. The director allowed me to do that as well because my target audience is moms. So my goal is to keep going into daycares, talking about my organization and things like that. So that's a couple of things what how I market currently right now. I am trying to find other ways to market to get my target audience.
Yeah, and you know what? People kind of feel like since we in the world of technology, that word of mouth isn't as important, but word of mouth is very strong. And I understand, like, you were passing out flyers, or you being that awareness, and even having the people in your organization also putting in work as well, that definitely will bring other members into the organization. So for those who are also interested in, like, I'm interested in an organization, or to start, it don't have to be a mommy organization, but understanding like building an organization for people to have memberships, that, there's also a lot of marketing that goes into that as well, especially of like awareness, just simply causing awareness and word of mouth, getting the word out that you are there. Another thing, like, what are some of the industry insights? So within your motherhood organization, what do you see within your organization and other mommy organizations? Like, what's kind of trending? What are some things that you all are hopping on to, like, either cause awareness or give more members? What are the insights with that?
That's a good question because pick back on the first question, when I first was looking for an organization, I didn't find a mommy organization. God didn't allow me to see one. But once I started mommy organization, that's when I started seeing mommy organizations pop up. Um,
Mm.
I saw a couple of mommy organizations and a couple of things that one mommy organization do. She don't do memberships, but she do terrorists. So all her brand name, shirts, cups, things of that nature. She sells all of that, but she throw one big event a year for just moms. Another organization I see that do memberships and they do similar to mine. They throw a lot of parties every quarter. So me and that person, we kind of similar. The only thing is I never saw her do the mom talk. So one thing that my organization do, we do what I call mom talk every third Wednesday. And we just sit down and have conversations and talk about life problems, stuff that we go through as moms. So I do look at some of these organizations and be like, oh, okay, this is a good idea, or this is a good idea to have a theme or event of, like the different things. And also with the mommy organization with the para, I also want to start putting us some para aside too. So I get good ideas for all of them as well.
Definitely. And the logos and stuff, you have the apparel that you already be having be cute. So that's definitely a great idea to go that direction. And one thing that's pretty much is market research. And that's what she's doing. She's looking at her competitors and seeing what they have going on, what's working for them, what may not be working for them, what their niche, who their target audience is, and learning from that. And that's very important no matter what industry you're in. It's very important to be able to do that as well. So tell us about, how do you balance your business? You have two organizations and you're about to get ready to start another organization in another state. Tell us about how you balancing your business, how you're balancing, because you also work. You are a teacher's assistant, you are a coach, right? You are a director for the athletic department. And you're married, you got three kids, one on the way, about to lose count. How are you balancing all of this out with your 24-hour a day?
So it's time consuming, I could tell you that. I do try to make sure I'm on a schedule. Yes, I am a co-teacher, a kindergarten co-teacher. So that starts from 7:30 to 3:30 from Monday through Friday, and I'm also a head volleyball coach. So that starts from 3:30 to 5:30. But I also over the athletic department at my building too. So I'm over all the sports. So I try to make sure I'm home no later than 6:15. But if I'm not doing any practice, I check on my coaches and I leave immediately. So I leave by 3:45, no later than 4 o'clock. When I get home, I do take out time for my organization, see what I need to do. Right now, I'm currently updating my handbook because we have a big meeting starting in January. So I get all that together. So I try to make sure I have my meetings and everything with the leaders that's in my organization. One of the things that I do now, that because I have Atlanta and Chicago, I did on our Christmas party announce a president and vice president for Chicago. So that means I don't have to travel back and forth to Chicago like I was doing this year. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
to do all the events. My president and vice president will be able to handle that, and I just come on the special events. Now, don't get me wrong, I still would be there. I still would be on hands. I still would be in the mom talks, but certain events I don't want to have to travel to. Just like Atlanta as well, I did do a vice president, but I'm still over Atlanta until God tell me otherwise. And then once
Mm-hmm.
that, I will still be on hands with that. But I am gonna let my vice president do what she do best. With my family, my husband, I make sure they good. I make sure they take care of. I ask my kids, do they got homework? If they say yes, I'm there. Adonis, I pick him up from daycare. And then with my husband, me and my husband get home at the same time. Sometimes get on like 30 minutes later than me. But I'm most definitely been doing my wifely duties, and I don't cook every day. I say I would cook the other day. Like they gonna have leftovers, but I do
Yeah,
still try to cook every other day. I still try to make sure I am the greatest mom that I could be and the greatest wife that I could be, because I won't neglect my family for anything. So yeah,
absolutely.
on this time on the schedule. If I keep myself on this schedule, I won't fail with no parts.
Yeah. And you said a lot of important things just within that. For one, you talk about time management. Time management is essential. It's like many people who starting out with their business, they're working, they're still working a 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call a job. they're putting in money into from what they're making into their business to help grow it. A lot of people, they have families, they're married, right? They're balancing out. Some people are taking care of their parents that are elderly. You know what I mean? So it's so much to balance. The only way you're going to get through that is through time management. And many people, even today, as you spoke, and the other entrepreneurs have been saying the same thing, time management is essential. And then secondly, you spoke about delegating. So you have your hands full, you have so much, and then you have put the responsibilities on other people, creating a president and a vice president. Like, that is essential. She delegated her work, which is really, really great that you did that. So just really having that balance and understanding, okay, what's on my plate, how to, I know my time management from here to here. I got this from here to here. And it kind of helps you see things with all you have and how to get it all done. So that was very essential. That I hope you all are taking notes from this, because that is very important. And once again, these tips are important no matter what field you're in when it comes to time management and delegating. And I always ask people how they delegate. You already answered it, but I already asked the entrepreneurs like how they delegate their work, because sometimes when people are starting, they don't have enough resources to hire people, right, to do those different tasks for them. So that's the way you chose to delegate, in a way where it's not costing you out of pocket money. And that is amazing to do that. So where do you see your business at in the future, in about 4 to 5 years? Like, what are your long-term goals for your business?
My long term goal is to make sure that it's still running, because what I do know, we need this outlet. What I do know, that motherhood of the Chicago and what other state I'm going that need that outlet, because at the end of the day, we put on this show that we got it all together, like we super
Mhm.
all that. But in reality, sometimes we just need to cry out. Sometimes we just need to say, "Hey, I need help. Hey, I can't do this." So that's one of them. And then eventually, I want to do a mommy conference. My goal is to bring a lot of moms together in one area and just do a mom conference. So that's been the next 5 years. That's my goal, to make sure that this organization still running, that I'm having chapters here and there, and it's actually helping moms. Like, I love to hear my mom say, "This organization has helped me. I don't know what I'd be if I didn't have you all to talk to." So I love to hear that. So that's my goal, my long
Yeah.
term.
And I loved how, like, you started in Atlanta. So many people migrated to Atlanta for better opportunities, for better job opportunities. And Atlanta is like the Black Hollywood, as they call it, right? And a lot of people migrated to Atlanta just for a better life, better living. So in Atlanta, you have so many people who are away from their community, who are away from their home, who are away from their support group. And I like I've said, like we have talked about before, like you have groups online where people are meeting strangers just to have that connection and to have a friendship or a community and support group. So these organizations are definitely needed, right? There's definitely a target audience for this organization, and that is so important before you start a business, to know that, hey, is there people around looking for this? Is there an industry for this? Is there open opportunity for this? So when you want to start, just make sure you understand, like, you do your research with your area, and what exactly that you're trying to do. So that is very important too. And I'm looking forward to that mommy's conference, because I think that's going to be a huge thing when you actually go ahead and do it. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, a question: when it comes down to, like, when you tried to start the daycare, let's get into that a little bit. So I remember you was trying to start the daycare. You actually bought the building, right? You rented out. You were renting out the building. You were very excited about it, and you were pregnant with Adonis at this time, and about to go into labor actually. And you put a lot of money into renovating this building
Mhm.
for the man who's the owner of it to go ahead and tell you that, hey, it's up to code, da 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 da. So you thought you was good to go, but when they came into the inspection, the things that the man said was okay was not good to go,
Yes.
which resulted in you losing all the money you put into the building, and for you not to move forward with the daycare. How did you get past? 'Cause I know that was a lot and it was hard. Like literally, like right after that, you was getting ready to have your baby who had complication, had to be in NICU. was hitting you all at once. Like how was you feeling with that? And how did you get past that perspective of you seeing that as a failure? How did you get past that?
So, like you said, I did start at the daycare. I renovated it. So I bought a flex building. I rented a flex building. I hire construction workers to make classrooms, add bathrooms. Then I went and got all the supplies that I need to put in the classrooms. I got everything up to state code, everything. The only thing I needed was which was in our agreement, that the owner would fix the gate because it wasn't my property, and the owner will make the stairs 3 foot wide, because in daycares you have to have stairs outside 3 foot wide. So he told me he did it. He was doing it, and the only reason why I did not check, because I was going into labor. He told me he did it. He said, and the next day I had state to go out to do my inspection. So the whole entire time I'm thinking, okay, he said he did it. We good. Blase, blase. We okay. So I get an email from the state and they said my inspection failed. And they're going to come back out and do another inspection in the next 30 days. So I emailed I called the landlord. He told me, I asked him, I said, did you fix the gate? I said, they saying the gate is not fixed and the stairs are not 3 foot wide. He said, yeah, I did all of that. And so I asked my mom, because again, I just had my baby. I asked my mom, can she go to the building to see if the gates was fixed, and then he fixed the stairs. Found out he never fixed the stairs. He never fixed the gate. He put wires on the gate. So he said, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I thought when you say fix it, I thought it was just you wanted me to make sure it was together. So he said, I'm not paying all this money for it. So remind you, I already just put $40,000 in the building. I'm going into our savings now. I'm like, I'm not gonna put another dime in this building. So I asked my husband and his best friend to move all our stuff out, and I did not pay this man else. I canceled my contract, and I never went back. I never even went back to see the building, because once again, I'm dealing with my baby's son that's in the NICU room having complication. I'm just having a baby. It hurted me. I did feel like I was a failure, because I'm like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be a daycare owner. I know the ins and out of daycare. I've been working in daycare my whole entire life since I was 16. I got my certifications with being a director, so it kind of hurted that I couldn't do my own. I felt it down. I felt failure, but that's when I felt like I was going through postpartum depression too.
Mm.
So much stuff hitting me all at once. If it wasn't my business, it was something personal. If it wasn't that, it was something going on with my baby. So everything was hitting me all at once. And when you normally from a different state, which you got all your family there to help and support you, and you move to another state when it's just you and your husband,
Mm.
your kids, well, which my mom was there at that time, but she had to go back home. You start going into this depression stage. You start going into this, oh my God. And certain things you have felt like, I'm like, I ain't never felt like this. And that's when I realized I was going through postpartum depression. So yeah,
Yeah.
it made me who I am today. It made me be like, okay, yeah, I felt this, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna do something else. If I fail that again, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
stop just for one failure. So, yeah, that was.
How do you so like I'm hearing you saying like, okay, this not gonna stop me, I'm gonna go do it again. And if that fail, hey, I'm gonna go do another one. I'm gonna do something else. What inspired you to just keep going like that?
You know what? It's crazy. I just feel like I got God on my side. It must not be. I look at it like now, this daycare must not have been meant for me. I must
Hmm.
had the money. Hey, go do what you wanted to do. Go do what you always wanted to do. But I look at it, God, it might not been my season. It might not be my season to start the daycare. It might not be my start, whatever that I did fail at. It was my season to do what God had me doing now. It was my season to go back into school and work with babies again, kindergarten. It's my season to coach, be over all the sports, and then be on my and do mommy organization. That's my season right now. So that's at it. And if I fail at it, I feel like, okay, God, this was my season to end. God got something better for me. And that's how I'm looking at everything now. I can't look at it
Yeah,
being down and being depressed any longer, because that ain't gonna do nothing but keep me down and keep me not moving. I have to move on. And if I'm
right.
for anybody, I'm doing it for my babies.
And as this kind of like wrap us right back around how this is like a spiritual thing, like because you're gonna get pushed around. Some things are not going to turn out the way you think they are, and a lot of people, even as we've been on this, a lot of people that I've been interviewing been saying like, "Hey, I'm dependent on God. Like He's gonna make it. He's gonna make that path." You know what I mean? And like you said, if it didn't work, it's no need to fall into depression or feel the type of way about it. Maybe it's just not my season for this right now.
Mhm.
Okay, and let me move to the next thing. Let me pray and keep going. And that's an amazing mindset to have, because a lot of people have hit their head and probably failed at something and just completely gave up instead of kept going, keep going. Maybe it wasn't your time right now. Maybe you have to go around another way. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, some people just don't keep pushing through. So at the end of the day, it's not failure unless you keep pushing through. For those who are looking, may have failed at something recently, just keep going. That is the trick to this. Just keep going. Get yourself up and try again. Try something else and keep going. Now, for you, when you look back on it, and I know when I look back on my life, what I like was to talk to the younger version of myself, or when I talk to younger people, like what advice would you give them? People who are like trying to find themselves, people who want to work for themselves, be in an entrepreneur world. Like, what are some things would you, or tips or whatever the case may be, would you tell them?
If I could go back to my younger self, I'll tell her keep going. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Don't allow anybody to say no to you. Don't allow anybody to say I can't do it. Whatever people say to you, just keep going. And I even wrote myself that letter like, Valencia, you don't care what nobody say. You could say, girl, you're not gonna keep that long, or I don't think you should do that. Don't listen to the naysayers. Keep going, girl, because the only person that gonna stop you is God, and He will show you that right.
Yes, yes. And that is very true. Thank you so much, Valencia, for being a part of the Evolving Entrepreneur podcast. And I'm so excited that you came in, spend some time with us, and just to talk to us and tell the people and inspire the people. Tell the people your journey and inspire the people. Any final things? Oh, where can they find you, or any final words you want to say? What are your social media tags?
So my social media on Facebook is the Motherhood of Atlanta. Instagram is the Motherhood of ATL. If you are in Chicago, it's the Motherhood of Chicago on Facebook, and it's the Motherhood of Chicago on Instagram. And then you can also find us on our website at www.themotherhoodatl.com.
And don't worry, you guys, I'm also going to put it in any description box that you're listening to, whether it's YouTube, the podcast, or any of my social media channels. The her tags will be added there. Thank you again, Valencia, and I truly enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all took something from it, and thank you for joining us again today.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.